Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily, then distribute it everywhere, and even earn money. We like that. All in one place for totally free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your cellular telephone or your computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else, those other places that podcasts are heard.
Video podcasts are also available on Spotify, and when you want to take conversations with your fans to the next level, Q&As and polls are the best way to get them talking. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, it's totally free, zero catch. We've been using it ever since we started How Long Gone. And ever since I discovered Spotify for Podcasters, I feel like having the option of turning off the Q&As and the polls on the user dashboard has really helped boost my creativity and take it to another level. I highly recommend giving it a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started. Chris Black, it is I. Once again, today is Monday morning, May 17th, a.k.a. Tuesday the 18th. Fucking A. What's up, bro?
Bro, I'm good. You know, just feeling a little. I went on a hike yesterday that was a little more extreme than we had anticipated, and it was in Glendale, interestingly enough.
Oh, so we were just talking on the podcast yesterday about how we should incorporate some more hiking into our lifestyle, and then just hours later, there you are on the hill. Where there's some steep fuckers in Glendale.
It was a steep climb, and the weather was not optimal. I will say that, but luckily I was prepared in Gore-Tex leaning gear.
What the fuck does Gore-Tex leaning gear mean? Does that mean you can't afford the real shit? What is it?
Don't ever check my pockets, bitch. No. I just, it wasn't a full gore. It was just I didn't know how bad the weather was going to be, but it was pretty shitty once we got up there. But it was kind of amazing because once we reached the peak, it honestly felt like we were in like South America or something. When it was all overcast and the fog was hitting.
According to IG Stories, the Instagram website, it almost had the, like when you go hiking in the islands of Hawaii.
Ah, yes,
and
yes.
You kind of go over the cloud line, and then the only thing left to check out is what the big man upstairs has created, and it can be breathtaking. And Glendale and Hawaii, H2O lean, same thing.
Yeah, we did have an interesting incident though, because as we finished the hike, our leader, our friend Jeremy, was like, "Oh yeah, just loops around will be good." And then we got spit out in an area that, thanks to Google Maps, showed us that we were 50 minutes from where we parked on foot. After a good, hour and a half, 2 hour hike, I'm sweaty. I'm wet from the rain. I'm in need of some sustenance.
You were ready to pack up, and then Google said, "Not so fast,
Not so fast, Chief." So we did have to make a late call, and we were able to Uber 5 minutes to our cars. So I made it out. We made it out alive, and I'm just happy to be here to podcast with you, Jason.
Wow, thank God. Yeah, it was a little misty and rainy yesterday. It was an odd rainy day.
This weather is absolutely trash yet again. LA, I know June gloom is a thing, but I'm not in the mood.
There's a lot of global warming, climate stuff
mean?
going on. I know that you and your little friends are deniers of it, but when I was a youngster, summer used to be June. June, July, August, that was summer. And obviously a lot of that is because of the school year and everything like that. But summer kicks in September, October now. And I think as I get older, it gets pushed back more and more in every year.
Let me tell you something. Let me make something very clear to you, big dog. I don't like that one bit.
I mean, we're still going to experience the same 3 months of extreme heat. It just doesn't happen when we think it's supposed to happen anymore.
No, I understand that, but I like when things align as I've been taught. You know what I mean? I want to feel it in June when everybody else does.
Do better, Chris. It's time to put in the work.
You're right.
Because now there's a lot of pros to it. The fact that it's a little rainy in June That's a downside, but one of the pros is every year. Remember when we were kids? Every year for Halloween would arrive, and it would be, it'd be kind of a cold, gloomy. It's like a month away from winter. Now,
bitch, I don't
Halloween,
give a fuck.
It's 82 degrees. I'm wearing a tank top and shorts on October 31st every year for the last 5 years, all thanks to global warming.
I know you want to wear your little slutty Halloween costume, but that does not change my opinion of this shift. And luckily, my passion for single-use plastics has not wavered. So I am able to continue to contribute to the problem that is ruining our planet.
Would it make you feel any better if I told you that I'm drinking out of a plastic straw right now?
Thank God, Jesus Christ! Thank you for that. I mean, thank you for that.
I'm back in your good graces.
Yeah, you've returned. But yeah, it was so it was a pretty physical activation yesterday, and then we hit commissary on the way home just to get a coffee, a little snack, and let me tell you something, bro. Commissary was fucking lit.
Did you go to the one by my house?
Yeah, Glendale, bro. It was
Kenneth Village. Shout out to
let me tell you
Village.
something. Shout out to the Kenneth Village, because Kenneth Village, they don't care about social distancing. They don't care. This shit was packed like it was there were kids with laptops like working, like full pre-COVID vibe. It was great.
That coffee shop in my neighborhood has been the epicenter of super spreading in my life. Like I put it up against any business in Los Angeles, and they will show you how to not care about anything like that. Was my man my Latinx cowboy barista working?
He was very friendly to me. I wonder, do you think he listens to the show, or he just recognized game?
He just probably understood that you were linked to me, and that's why he was showing you love.
He was like, wait a second, this guy is not Armenian. His car costs less than $200,000, and he's not wearing any Gucci. This guy must be friends with Jason.
He has to know DJ Them Jeans, and he was right about it. I was just politicking with him just yesterday as well, actually. It
was great. So we had a big afternoon, and then this morning I had to pop up for another 7 a.m. workout with Nick Wooster, who's still visiting, and I'm feeling a little torched, Jason. I need to have a second coffee here ASAP.
I've had 2 coffees today as well, and I'm sipping numero trois right now.
Yeah, but you probably haven't done much. That's the difference.
I'm going to try and get a late afternoon workout in, but as you know, Mondays are my Mondays.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that, Garfield.
So, Monday used to be my Friday, and not anymore. Monday has become my Monday, so I'm busy as hell today. And we're doing a rare podcast.
We're doing a rare podcast. I mean, the podcast, the schedule of the podcast when you're dealing with the caliber of guests that we're dealing with is unfortunately, it's not up to us anymore, Jason. We've let Jesus take the wheel, as they say.
Yeah. Fuck you, Jesus.
Fuck Jesus.
Jesus is fucking my whole week up.
You're telling me, dude. You're telling me.
Well, yesterday I went to an activation. She has a few friends from New York who moved to LA, and they had some people over to the crib in WeHo.
Are you telling me that you came to WeHo and you didn't check with me first?
Well, I didn't. It wasn't my place to invite, lesser thans, the riffraff.
I don't want to get invited to your little Aperol Spritz party. You need to, if you're coming to WeHo, you tap in. You let me know that you're crossing Santa Monica. You gotta, we'll deal with this next time.
Yeah, what are you going to do about it? That's what I thought. Nothing.
Bitch, I will come program the Tesla to drive off a cliff, and we'll see what happens after that. Okay? I'll slash the fucking tires. I'll slash the tires. Yeah, I ain't afraid to slash the tires.
I've been putting in work in West Hollywood much longer than you, Chris. You have not earned the right.
I understand that. I understand that, Jason. But unfortunately, there's a new mayor in town. Okay, and you can catch me at the Abbey Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, and you can tap in there anytime you want, Jason.
I will start checking in with you when you start living in West Hollywood. I know where you live, and you're lucky that I don't call it East Hollywood.
The disrespect.
Okay.
Hey, look, as long as it's not.
I know that neighbor. I know that block more than you, and
you know every block.
I know a fake West Hollywood. He's over here making up neighborhoods. I actually live in Holly Grove Glen. It's Beverly. It's east of like all the New York neighborhoods.
They get paid, but those
east of Real, west of All Saints is one of the most sought after neighborhoods right now.
Those neighborhoods luckily are named by agencies, so I would love to get that gig to get $1 million bucks.
What kind of agency? Is it like a creative, like a branding agency?
Yeah, 100%. Like that's like a whole thing. The same way that Kale had PR, you know what I mean? That's why they bounce back.
I don't know if you need an agency to abbreviate something like that. It seems pretty easy. I could knock out a whole Manhattan skyline in an afternoon.
Exactly, Jason. And this is why you get paid the medium bucks.
I'll hit the fucking G pen.
G pen.
I'll abbreviate every fucking neighborhood. I don't give a shit. I ain't playing with y'all anymore.
But so you were at this party and did TJ have a little accident?
TJ took a tumble. So I went there and I was, as the only straight in attendance, they were, of course, making some lemon drops. You familiar with that? That legendary cocktail?
I've tossed back a lemon D in my time.
Lemon drops were on the menu, and they were being served up fiercely with a brown sugar rim. You know, it has a little bit more of a molasses, kind of a syrupy, darker sweetness that did pair well with the bright acidity of lemon. But anyway, they have a lemon tree in the backyard, and wouldn't you know it, all the good lemons that were impeccable, all the good lemons were out of reach for the normal sized humans who were at the event. So when I arrived, I was quickly rushed and ushered to the tree where I was asked nicely if I could pluck down some lemons. So I went for it, and then as I got greedy is what happened. I already had a bushel full of them, probably, I don't know, 6. I had like 6 lemons at this point, and they're like, oh, there's a few more right there. Why don't you go, while you're up there, I'll grab them. I was kind of showing off, everyone was very happy that I was reaching these almonds. I was reaching these lemons. I was saving the day. We didn't have to turn the lemon drop machine off. We could keep dropping for the rest of the afternoon, and then the branch that I was standing on snapped beneath me, and then I took a tumble. I slid down the lemon tree. I didn't get injured, like I didn't break anything. It was actually a very anticlimactic, smooth landing. But
sounds like that little milkshake you had might have put you over the edge there, huh, Chief? Those chicken tenders, maybe.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
It's possible.
Something to think about.
My slim frame, it broke the branch a little bit, and I slid down, and also the lemon trees are a little prickly. They have some thorns on them, so my hand was decently bloodied, and the inside of my arm is scratched up. I appeared to be mauled by a Wolverine or something like that. And then my left thigh outside, right where your IT band would be if we were talking to Rick, that did get a little scratched up as well, and that's going to affect my foam rolling this afternoon at Equinox. So
yeah.
Thoughts and prayers are appreciated.
I'm glad to hear you're okay.
I'm not okay.
Well, it sounds like...
Yet he persisted.
Well, I mean, you're a guy that puts your head down, you power through every day, and that's something that we all appreciate from you here on this podcast, Jason. We do have a guest today, Jason.
Someone's got to do it.
This is a special occasion. This is why we're recording today. You might know her as Japanese Breakfast. Michelle Zauner is her name. She is a musician. Her new album is coming out very soon, actually. June 4th on our...
called Jubilee.
Jubilee from our friends at Dead Ocean. Shout out to the whole gang over there. And her book, Crying at H Mart, our memoir, it debuted at number 2 on the New York Times nonfiction bestseller list. And it is excellent. It's an excellent book.
Yeah, I'm about a third of the way through it, and yeah, it is quite a powerful book.
It's quite good, and I think that there's a lot for us to discuss here, especially her Korean food talk is really, really something. I would imagine. I don't understand.
And you love Korean food, so I can't wait to see you kind of dig in and kick the tires of all the jigaes.
I want you. That's what you're here for.
Stews and soups.
That's what you're here for. I'm just here to slander Philadelphia. Make sure she knows that. We're excited to talk to her. The book is great. The music is great. We've both been fans for a while, so let's give Michelle a little jingle. Thank you for joining us, Michelle. So just to not to jump the gun, but what are we building over there that requires sawing?
My husband and I got a hot tub.
Oh.
Yeah. So we bowled out But he has to like build this like wooden box to like house the, I guess like the filter or whatever. It's like one of those like cedar tubs.
Ooh.
So like they like send you all the wood, and him and his dad like built it, and then he also has to build this box for the thing. It's been like a 6-month process getting this thing, and now it's like done just in time for like this summer.
Hot tub season is upon us. Thank God.
Thank God, it's all
And
worth
thanks
it.
to our new best-selling book, we're able to spring for the cedar. No broke boy
No,
plastic
actually,
shit.
the cedar is cheaper than the plastic. Surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I was like, maybe we should look because it's expensive, and then we were like, maybe we should get a plastic one instead, and they're way more expensive.
I've been deeply considering purchasing the indoor infrared sauna for the home.
Hell yeah!
But the hot tub is a nice one.
Yeah, I'm really pumped about it.
Where do you guys live?
I sound so bougie right now, but we
Perfect.
we got a cabin in the Adirondacks.
Oh, okay. No, I was just making sure a hot tub feels very appropriate for that setting.
It's not like in Brooklyn.
we put a hot tub in Brooklyn. It's different. No, I think that's the appropriate place for a hot tub. Feels right.
Did you guys move there permanently, or is this just the weekender crib, or is this just the COVID crib?
I moved out of my studio in Philadelphia. We live in Brooklyn in an apartment, but I needed to move all my studio stuff.
Do you guys do outdoor types of activities? Are you into fly fishing? Do you make beans over an open fire? Stuff like that?
We do have in the wintertime it got so cold here that it really even with the heat on, you have to keep the fire running all the time. So it was very primal. Yeah, I grew up in the woods in Oregon, so I feel like it is a natural place for me to gravitate to and want to write in this kind of environment. I got a cord of wood for the first time and stacked a lot of wood.
Let's go.
Yeah, but I hate hiking, so I don't really like to do that kind of.
What?
I like swimming, but I'm not a big hiker. I think largely because I grew up in the forest that I'm just why do I have to engage anymore?
Hiking is not something you just do it for transportation.
Yeah,
not
I
for-
don't I don't get it.
All right, fuck hiking.
It's funny you say that. I went on a hike yesterday here in LA, and I did get lost at the end, and I had to call an Uber to get back to our car.
No way.
I hate hiking right now as well. I'm going to give it a 24-hour probation period before I revisit it mentally.
He was on the remote Appalachian trails of Burbank, and it was tough for him to make his way back home.
I'm not great at direction, really.
I'm really bad at directions too, and I tried out hiking again during last fall because I was what else is there to do right now? Actually, the day that Biden won, I was microdosing on mushrooms with my husband and his friend Gabe, who was visiting. We went on this 5-hour hike, and it was just hell on earth. It felt like I was walking. It felt like I was walking, and I felt like I had this pressure because his friend was we have to finish this hike
Or else we'll die.
Well, no, it's just we need the reward of finishing the hike.
Sure,
you
the
know?
completion.
And it kept getting more and more time. I didn't realize how long it was. And if it was just my husband and I, we would have probably turned around after half an hour. But this was 3 hours of hiking. I think he thought that we went hiking often. And so that's why he was kind of pushed. So there's this weird miscommunication. But also, I had a really nice time microdosing the last time I microdosed and went camping, but I realized so much of that was sitting still. But this time I was walking the entire time. It was literally I was traveling to Mordor. It was the most horrifying experience. I hated it.
Well, this is why we can't do these activations with our husbands' friends. It just never works out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I never want to hike ever again.
Did you take the mushrooms before or after you learned that Biden won?
After. We were really stoked about it. And it was such a perfect encapsulation of that entire period of time, I feel where it was just hell, for three days.
You really were walking through Mordor. Well, are you a normal microdoser, or is that a random occurrence for you?
I'm not a normal microdoser. Especially now. I feel it always happens in pairs where it's I'll have a good trip and I'll be oh, I'm really into drugs now. And then I'll have a really bad trip. And then I'm okay, I never want to do that again. And then 2 years will go by and I'll go through the same thing where it's similarly, last year I went camping with my girlfriends and we microdosed, and like it was the greatest experience of all time. And after that, I was like, oh, I want to do this all the time. And so then when we went hiking, I was like, great, I'm really into microdosing right now. And then we did it and I was like, okay, great, I never have to do that again for like years and years.
How micro is the dose? Because I feel like, does this vary, or is there like a standard for this? Because I hear the term a lot, but I'm unclear on actually how big or small it is.
I feel like it's like a one, you know what I mean?
There's sort of
like
sort of a standard. Yeah, you just eat one mushroom, big or small. No, it's like a 10th of an eighth or something like that. It's or maybe even a 20th of an eighth.
For me, I think it was like, I think my friend, like 4 friends split an eighth, which is crazy because I did not mean to like turn this into a drug conversation, and I should like
this podcast is basically a drug conversation.
What this podcast is, but yeah,
I'm high right now.
It's really funny though, because like my manager was like, "Do you want to do this podcast? It's kind of bro-y," and I was like, I don't care.
Who the fuck is your manager?
Like, it's actually not my manager. It's like my day-to-day manager, and like he was like, I think because we were just doing a lot of stuff, and they're like, I have no idea what this is. Sorry, but like
we prefer that.
This is like how it was expressed to me, and so I was like, oh, that's okay. But what is the theme of this podcast?
It's bros. It's just bro shit.
It's a couple of bros.
Yeah, your day-to-day was not wrong dubbing us a bit of a brocast. We've been called that before, but I'd like to think that we're not full bros. We just are fluent in bro.
But like, what is the theme?
There's no theme. We just talk.
You just are two bros talking
with guests.
I've done a lot of podcasts recently. I wrote a book called Crying in H Mart that's about grief, and so I've done a lot of very like serious.
Don't plug the book.
It's too early for the plug. Okay,
it's
too early for the plug.
So I've done a lot of podcasts. No, I'm getting to you. Okay,
sorry.
I've done a lot of podcasts like about grief and like really serious stuff. So I was kind of like, okay, bro podcast. That sounds fun.
Exactly.
But then the podcast is called How Long Gone. It sounds kind of like poetic.
Thank you. So I'll tell you the story. So basically,
why is it called How Long Gone?
Okay, so when we started the podcast right at the beginning of quarantine, so it's been a little over a year now, and the name. So basically, the whole premise was we're old friends, and we've kind of done a bunch of stuff similar to a podcast before over the years. People like our rapport and our banter, a little broy, maybe not, but we just basically decided to call each other 3 times a week and record the conversation of just us, talking, hanging out when everyone was kind of like unsure about what was going on in the world. And we were like, we need to hear a little, just some like lighthearted, fun convo. It's not so serious. It's not like the doom scrolling news feed that we're all getting. And then, so the name of the podcast is a sort of a reference of like, how long will our world be gone? Our normal world. But the song, it's named after a Brooks and Dunn song called How Long Gone, which is about a lady leaving her man, and he's wondering how long this freak is going to be gone for.
Got it.
Are you a fan of Brooks and Dunn?
I don't know who that is, to be honest.
They're like a kind of like a 80s, 90s.
Are they like a bro band?
It's like country music, country duo.
Cool.
Some romantic crooners. Check out some of their stuff.
What would you consider though? What would you consider to be a bro band? I'm very interested in what that looks like from you.
Like Sublime.
Sublime, okay. 311.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
Incubus.
Damn! Don't not Incubus. Not Incubus.
Jack Johnson.
Oh yeah, Jason Mraz.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what the modern bro. I guess like the modern bro now would be like Tame Impala, which I like. What do you guys listen to?
I listen to basically like the Lemonheads and Oasis. Is kind of my okay. zone. Obviously that can, you can go in some different directions there, but that's probably the middle. And Jason is more of like how would you describe it, Jason? Burial?
I like dark British electronic music that's depressing, and then I also like rap music that's about drug dealing and killing people. And then but we both grew up like kind of like straight edge hardcore punk world.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that's the basis.
That's surprising.
Is it?
Well, I mean for bros, I don't know.
I've met a lot of bros or a lot of straight edge people who are bros. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also, what does bro even mean nowadays?
I don't know, but I don't think that they listen to like hardcore music. I don't think they listen to Burial.
But that's kind of the thing. Like, bros are starting to listen to Burial.
Are they?
Protect Burial at all costs. Protect Burial at all costs, Jason.
But I mean, like, we're of a certain age, and the Burial of yore, it's the antithesis of anything bro-y. But now, enough time has passed to where things like that, could be bro. You could see the Burial EP at Urban Outfitters, and people are like, damn, this shit is actually like kind of dark. I kind of feel it. Like,
I kind of fuck with
I'm going
this.
to play Madden and listen to, I'll play Call of Duty and listen to Burial. I don't give a shit.
What if Burial was on the Call of Duty soundtrack? That would really push us over the edge.
I would have a gaming problem if that was the case. My family would leave me.
But I think the word bro has evolved, because when we were in high school, I think bro meant like a football player,
Right.
which I don't think that really is applicable in today's world.
But also we are fans of like athletic stuff. Like, Chris works out a lot, and I'm into we play tennis and stuff like that. So like a little bit of a jock mentality coincides with the bro lifestyle. You know what I mean?
I'm learning so much about you guys.
Hey, that's kind of the idea here. What's your
It's not all about you.
The idea is just like the podcast is just like an hour-long conversation where like the guest like figures out what your guys' deal is.
Yeah, you just sit there and politely say yes every 3 to 4 minutes, and then we'll just kind of take it from there. No, that's not what we do at all. We assume that you've been on a whirlwind press tour, plugging the book, Crying in H Mart, and you've probably had to do some deep conversations, and you have to talk about Korean soups and explain what banchan means to white ladies in Oregon. So now you get to just sit back and chill with the bros.
And talk about mushrooms, yeah.
Fucking
with
A,
the bros.
man.
Mushrooms and Tame Impala with the bros.
I mean, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound so bad, does it?
No, it sounds great. That's why I went to my manager, was like, is this okay? I was like, yeah, that sounds like refreshing.
So are you kind of on the tail end of your book press tour, virtual Zoom press tour?
I have no idea. It feels like never ending. Every time I think it's like going to end, the calendar like fills up with stuff. And I'm just about to come out with like an album like in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's a whole nother tidal wave of press. I mean, it's like a double-edged sword, because like obviously I'm really stoked that all these people want to talk about my book, and like my press team like with the book is doing such an incredible job. Like, I saw the book was like Goop posted about the book like 2 days ago, and I was like,
there we go.
I was like,
there we
holy
go.
shit, like I've made it. But at some point it feels like you're gonna run out of magazines, to talk to. Like, it feels like
Damn, book is.
There's only so many publications on planet Earth that you could speak with.
That's how I feel. I feel like it must be over pretty soon here. But I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you don't want it to end because you like want the thing to be successful. But I feel like embarrassed to even talk about it anymore, because I'm like, it's so dialed in.
Every time you do one of these, you're going to sell a few more books, so it's hard to say no to that.
Yeah, and I want it to be successful, and I feel like annoying even complaining about it, but
You're not complaining.
But I think
You're
books.
safe
I mean, I think a book has a different reach than music. I'm sure you're finding that as well. Like, it's people are coming out of the woodwork and stuff in a different way, I would imagine.
Totally, yeah. It's wild.
How is processing the criticisms about the book compared to criticisms about your musical career? Are you reading the comments?
Oh my god, I'm reading the comments. Like, it's really, I need to like get off. I need to like, I have like become really, my like screen time is at like 6 hours right now, and it's pretty gross and bad. I don't know like when I'm supposed to log off though, because it is like, it's a scary time where just like, who is canceling me right now?
That's not a thing that you were worried about, are you?
Oh, totally. I think everyone is.
It's true.
I think I always feel that way about other people, and then I hear them talk about it, and I'm like, whoa, you're worried about that too? I think everyone is worried about that. I feel like it's really funny when I see comments that are like, if you don't want to get canceled, don't do bad things. And it's like, but we're like, it's not like I've like done anything awful, but I am like, I'm always like afraid of like something, I
was surprised that is something that you were possibly scared of, but I like that about you even more.
I'm like overanalyze everything to death. Like sometimes it's valid and sometimes it's.
This is why we microdose, sister.
Yeah, I guess that is.
Like, good point, actually. Yeah, that is true.
There's like a song on the record. Sorry to plug my shit again, but there's a song on the record called Posing for Cars, which I wrote about. I swear I don't do mushrooms a lot, but it is like, it just happened to have come up.
Posing for Cars?
It's called Posing for Cars. It's the last song of the album, and it's about my husband and I like taking mushrooms together in the Poconos, and every time a car would pass, he would like pose because like he thought we were like really paranoid of like people knowing that we were on drugs. And so, like every time a car would pass, like he would pose like in a really obvious weird way. But there's a line in that song that's like, "Is this what it takes to enjoy the day?" Because like so much of that day was just spent me being like sitting on a porch in the sun and just being like, "This is so nice. Like this is great." And I feel like it's really sad that I like can't enjoy, like it helps you like enjoy little things like so much, that I feel like I'm such a busy person all the time. I can't like just sit and chill and not do anything and like watch a tree. Like I never would do that. And that is a nice feeling to have.
Don't beat yourself up about it. I think just the world is a much more difficult place to just sit and enjoy a tree. It's hard for everyone, even the most Zen master person in the world. And if we have learned how to evolve and use drugs to get there, then so be it, as long as we're not, crashing our car into something.
That's true.
Or worse.
Thanks, Jason.
You got it.
I feel like this entire podcast, you're the one that's like, it's okay. You can feel it.
Yeah, he's a little softer.
You'll pick that up as we move along.
That dark electronic.
Yeah.
Or no, you're the Oasis.
Yeah, I'm a dick who likes better anthemic music. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird how that goes. You would think.
Did you say anthemic?
Yeah, I would say that.
Could you guys put on something a little more anthemic?
I would say that Oasis is anthemic. Would you not? I mean, I think that's kind of what they're known for.
Anthemic.
I would say anthemic. Sorry about Chris. He's not a writer.
Yeah,
like
I can't read. I've never written a book.
I have a Substack.
Yeah, Jason.
Do a lot of emails as well. Chris does some food writing, things like that, criticisms, scene reports, stuff like that. Lighter stuff, lighter fare, as they say.
What are you criticizing?
I don't actually criticize anything. I write stories for like Vanity Fair and GQ and stuff about lighter subjects. You know what I mean?
But I do like the art of food criticism, and it's a thing that doesn't really happen too much anymore. And I kind of miss it and wish it did. Where do you stand on that, Michelle?
I am like a fragile, sensitive artist type that like doesn't like anyone criticizing anything.
Okay, well, we'll wrap this up now. Go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks, Michelle, for joining us.
It was a pleasure chatting with you.
That's like that's unfair though. I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's like I can dish it and I like can't take it very well, and I should probably get used to it.
You sound like a Virgo, like us.
I'm not. I'm an Aries. I'm like the opposite of that.
Okay. This podcast is over. But I mean, has anyone ever criticized you and you're like, damn, this motherfucker is spitting. He is correct. She is correct. She read me like a book. Maybe I will take this information and use it to further my career. Has that ever happened to you?
I don't like want to give them that.
Okay.
I feel like that's like what you're searching for, right? Like when you look at critique, like there's this part of you that's like, I'll be better for it. But then you see it and it just destroys you and you're like, I don't want to learn anything from this.
Not just like, oh, this is like some fat, ugly bitch. And then you're like, okay, that's just like a hater. But if somebody's like really, really reads you and knows you, that one can affect you. And
that's a really good question.
Maybe it makes you better.
Have you had that experience?
Sometimes. I mean, we're not really famous enough to receive a ton of criticism other than
you suck on Twitter. It's like it's not well thought out. We're not receiving the kind of the actual criticism that someone like you would receive.
People will leave ratings on the podcast. It'll be like 5 stars. These fucking bros are pretty fun. Look it, and then it'll be like 1 star. Laughs too much, or like 1 star. These guys are fucking stupid, or whatever. And that's like, what are you gonna do about it? You can just be like, okay, this person doesn't like me. We're gonna move on with our lives.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn to post and ghost, which is something that is. It sounds like you could maybe benefit from as well.
Yeah, I do. I do really want to do that. I need to like eliminate.
But it's hard. It's hard because it's also, I mean, being logged
Yeah, it is
on is
really
part of the job at this point. You know what I mean? Even for
I
you.
also think it's especially hard right now because like we're like in this, like maybe if I was on tour or like I had a life beyond doing Zoom interviews like all day, like I wouldn't be checking it so obsessively. But I think part of it is just because you're like doing so many interviews, you're like, oh, did I say something like fucked up that is going to be a problem later on? So you're like constantly checking if like someone is like angry about something.
You're only checking with the worry that something bad is going to happen versus like, oh, like if I wrote a book or if I came out with a new record, every day that I wake up, I'm going to be like a slot machine. I'm going to pull the handle and check out all this cool stuff that people wrote about me online. You're not looking into it with excitement as much?
I'm doing that too, I guess. But yeah, I think that like I justify it by being like, I'm checking to see if like something is wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
But I need to like get off. I think that now I'm like in a cool zone. I think it's also just like, I haven't released art in a long time. So I'm like constantly checking because it feels really good because I like sat on stuff for so long. And now I'm just like in this like release period that it does feel like I need to like actively engage with it or check on it online to make it feel real, especially because I'm not like going on a book tour and like I don't get to go on tour until hopefully like late summer. I think that part of it is like it all just feels really surreal, like none of this is really happening. So sometimes you go online and you're like, is this happening?
So you're going to do a tour later in the year, you said?
That's the plan. I think our first show is like the 28th of July.
Oh yeah, that's pretty
soon then.
Yeah.
Soon.
But I have been seeing, like, it feels, again, like really surreal, but I have even just seen on Instagram, like some friends in comedy starting to do like outdoor shows. And like, I think nature is like healing, at least in the US. I feel
the festivals are getting announced too. I mean, there was a bunch of stuff today. I feel like there's a new festival announcement like every day.
Yeah, I definitely was so freaked out about announcing the tour, and I thought I was going to get a ton of backlash, but I think it's been pretty chill. I feel like obviously there's such a like spectrum of feeling towards events, and that's okay.
You don't want to be labeled a super spreader.
Absolutely, yeah, totally. And
definitely
like
don't
if
name
it
your
feels
tour
like
that.
that's like what's going to happen, then like we won't do it. Obviously, I think everyone's really used to things getting canceled, but I do think that it's going to be okay.
It feels hopeful to me as well.
Yeah.
You said you have some friends in the comedy world. Is that an interest of yours?
Not really. I mean, I can appreciate it, but it's not. I'm not like comedy guy.
You're not a comedy guy.
Thank God. My least favorite kind of person is a comedy guy.
I feel like I can enjoy it, but I'm not like actively really seeking it out.
You ain't on the blogs.
Definitely at like what blogs are there?
You never dabbled in any open mic stand up or anything like that.
Oh, I would never. That is like my worst nightmare. There's no like
really thing
I want to do less than comedy. I like put myself out there enough. I don't need to like have another craft.
That's true. That's very true.
How long has this book been brewing? Obviously your whole life, but how long, when did you start?
Definitely not my whole, well, I guess like it covers my life, but I started it kind of in like 2016, I think.
Okay, so it has been a while.
It was like I wasn't like actively writing every day for 5 years or 4 years, but I wrote like a essay that started this book in 2016, and then 2 years later I kind of like I guess I've like just been collecting the pieces mentally in some ways like for 4 years.
So that the New Yorker story that like sparked this, was that something you'd written and then you pitched to New Yorker, or did you have friends there, or how did that work?
So I wrote this other essay called Love, Loss, and Kimchi that was published in Glamour in 2016, and then in 2017 in the winter I spent 6 weeks in Seoul writing what I thought would be the first like 6 or 7 chapters of this book. And the first chapter was Crying in H Mart. Mm-hmm. Then in like 2018, my label actually had a contact at the New Yorker with Michael Agar. And for some reason, they thought it would be a good way to like continue to promote the album by like making an interactive website. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but I guess I can try to do that. And so we had a call with Michael Agar, and he was like, I don't know what that is. If you want to send me, writing though, like I'll read it. And so I sent him I cleaned up the first chapter of the book and I sent it to him, and he was like, great, we want to publish it. And there was like one edit at the end, and it was all the better for it. And it was it's a very, very simple hands-off like editing process. But then like the legal back and forth, I think, was, for some reason, I wasn't involved, like my manager was taking care of it, but took a really, really long time. So I don't think it was published.
In what way? Like legal in what way? Like rights?
I think just like protecting the rights. Like I have no idea. I wasn't involved. I'm like really confused about what the issue was, but it was like, I don't know if it was just us making it an issue to just make sure that we were okay, because like my manager knew that I wanted to turn it into a book and that it was going to be a chapter. I don't really know. All I know is that it took a long time, and then it didn't come out until like later in 2018. Did people start hitting you up about making it a book ASAP, or was it still a kind of a slow roll? Yeah, it happened really fast. I had already like started to get some interest from agents like when the Glamour piece came out, but when the New Yorker piece came out, it was like an explosion.
We love that. I love when the inbox is booming.
Has H Mart sent you the edible arrangements yet for putting them on a national scale?
I mean, they are definitely already on a national scale, but I think that they're about to buy like a shit ton of copies, which is tight.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, if they were like excited and flattered by the mention, or if they were like, "You guys can't use our name legally."
You're gonna be sued. Yeah, it would have been horrible. I wrote them a very nice letter, and I actually am going to like have a meeting with them.
Love that.
Pretty soon. I don't know about what, but like I mean, it's a very like authentic interest on my part. It wasn't like put on in any way. Yeah, I think that they're into it because I think that they are like going to order. I would love for my book to be sold there eventually, and
that'd be an amazing full circle thing. And then maybe like a cardboard cutout for a soju ad.
Yeah, that would be great.
It'll be you and Psy, Gangnam Style, next to each other, selling that soju. I love it. I'm actually a big fan of H Mart myself. Visit the one here in Koreatown and Arcadia all the time.
I love Koreatown. You guys are both in LA, right?
Yeah, Chris is normally from New York, but he's in LA.
Are you from there originally? Where are you guys?
I'm from Atlanta originally, but I've been in New York for like 12 years, 13 years, a long time.
Oh, whoa.
I'm from Orange County. Ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Do you think that you are inevitably going to become the type of mom that shows their love through food and cooking as well?
I do.
You guys plan on having some children?
I think I will have. I think I will have one child eventually. But you know, it was kind of like the pandemic has like really taken away some real child rearing years. I feel like
it was only 1 year, but I see what you're saying.
Look, it's a big year.
Well, like I feel like my clock is ticking, you know, and like I feel like I need to go on tour for the next couple of years before I'm like ready to like try on a different lifestyle. But yeah, I feel like ideally I would have been touring for the last 2 years, and now my plans are kind of like shifted.
These were the very important bread stacking years of your life. So
Yeah.
Please, this book shit hits different though. I know she got an option for a second one. You got to figure it out now though, because they're not going to wait on you. You know, so you better be coming up with some ideas on tour.
I have an idea for it, but I don't know. Like that's another thing where it's like I really want to write a book about living in Korea for a year and learning the language, because like so much of what was hard about this book was like rooting around. I don't really have like a particularly great memory, and so I was like, it'd be so easy to write this book if it was just like happening day to day and I was like keeping a diary about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so my next book, I really would love to just live in Seoul for like a year and document writing, like learning the language. Because I feel like a lot of people, like, especially when you're in your 30s, it's like, am I too old to like learn a new thing, you know?
Yeah.
I think about this a lot.
So it would be fun to just like
a lot.
document that process, you know? So, but I don't know when that year of my life will be, because like hopefully the next 2 years I'll be touring, and then, you know, what I'm going to.
So you're saying you want to do that. You want to learn the language and like document that whole story.
Yeah. Cause I also feel like if I don't make it a project, it'll never happen.
Yeah.
You know, I've like struggled to learn this language like my entire life, and I never like really committed to it. And I feel like if you live somewhere for a year and like you're so hungry and like lonely to talk to people, like that's when it happens for you.
So where would you rate your level of Korean proficiency?
Like 2-year-old, maybe.
Damn, really?
Yeah. Like I can read and write. My spelling is like atrocious. And like I think my accent is like pretty good, but my comprehension and vocabulary is like really, really bad. I don't know why I'm like so stupid.
You're not stupid. Your brain just works in different ways. That's all.
I've been really into like polyglot. TikTok is really interesting to me.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Unfamiliar with what that is. I know about TikTok though. I've seen that.
A polyglot is like someone who can speak multiple languages.
Did they like flex that on TikTok and they like switch from Slovenian to Swedish?
Yeah, so like there'll be like videos where like someone's like, I'm going to tell you about my day, and like every sentence they switch to a new language.
Shit. That is pretty impressive.
So they're like, I have this great skill, and TikTok is the only place that I can really showcase it. Otherwise,
and they can also like live in a number of different countries and, you know, work as interpreters and translators. But, you know, I feel like I think I'm just interested in like if your brain is wired differently, or like what happens when you like plateau in a language, and like how do you like get yourself out of that.
As a songwriter and a book writer, I don't know if you're ever going to plateau with the English language, but would you ever do a record in Korean?
Probably not. No,
okay.
I don't really think that. It's like I'm trying to think of what that's like. It's just like, why would I do that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, are you more popular in Korea or Japan?
We're probably more popular in Japan, honestly. I think that there's like a bigger like indie scene, like international indie scene in Japan. It's like more wired for like international indie bands. They have like the infrastructure for that.
I want there to be like some like BTS manager in Korea who's like forcing you to record an album in Korea. Like that's a scenario that I'm trying to visualize.
That would be tight. I do think that we're gonna like release a song in Korean, maybe like a Korean translated version for fun. I don't know why I would write that way. It'd be kind of like if you were really good at guitar, like you were extremely proficient in guitar and you're like, I'm going to write this next song on accordion. Just like, why would you do that?
To challenge yourself. You never know. Every stone that you overturn, there could be a wonderful surprise there.
Well, maybe someday.
What have you been cooking lately, Michelle?
This weekend, I went to the farmer's market and I have a great fishman. Fishmonger.
A monger?
A monger. We got like some halibut, and I made fish and chips for the first time.
Oh, nice.
And it turned out really well.
Oh.
And I also made linguine with clams that turned out really well. And then today I'm going to make scallops.
Damn.
So I had like a real seafood medley for the last 3 days.
Seafood forward.
Love a medley. Yeah, just dining on rare seafoods, installing the hot tub every day. The life of an auteur.
Yeah.
It sounds pretty good from where we're sitting. I gotta say, it sounds much better than being a bro podcast.
We're talking about like a beer battered fish and chip situation.
Yeah, I watched like a bunch of like British men, British like YouTube videos of like different ways to like make the best chip.
A proper chippy?
Chip.
Yeah, so I blanched it, and then I put it in the fridge, and then I like double fried it, and it came out pretty good.
Serve it up on a little newspaper.
It wasn't that I should have done that, but
that's a bridge too far. On your French fries, you a mayonnaise on the French fries type of bro?
I do like that. I'm a strong proponent of mayonnaise. I'm a fan. You know what's crazy is that tartar sauce like just is mayonnaise.
Yeah, mayonnaise and relish. That's about it. I'll be eating some tartar sauce this afternoon, actually. I can't wait.
Are you also eating fish and chips? What else do you eat tartar sauce with?
That's pretty much. Well, I'm gonna make like a fish fillet
Whoa.
type of sandwich, like from McDonald's.
Wow.
Is this because of our? Is this
I got
because
some
of our
Martin's potato
the
rolls.
bun surplus has led you to this?
That's what your last episode was about? Bun surplus?
Well, kind of actually. If you think about
not
it,
entirely, but not. Well, we made some veggie burgers recently, and I said I want some Martin's potato rolls. Are you familiar with that bun?
No.
It's like a East Coast hamburger bun, and they also make like hot dog buns for lobster rolls and stuff like that. It's kind of known in the chef food world as the king of regular buns. But you can't get them on the West Coast, so he ordered me a box of them online, but the lowest denomination you can order them in is like 48 buns.
Oh my God.
48 buns.
So I have 48 buns. You know, some of them are out. I could cram only so many in the freezer. So every day it's just like, what can I do on a bun?
Oh, that's so funny.
It's not good for the waistline, the caloric
for
intake.
sure.
You know, it's a lot of just
Carb.
processed,
Carved
sugary,
up.
sweet bread. I'm carved up. I'm carved the hell up, and I'm not working out as much as I should be. What's your fitness schedule looking like nowadays, Michelle?
I was like really into fitness at the beginning of the pandemic. I was like, I'm gonna merge with a 6-pack, and I'm like a pretty small.
Merge.
I'm like a pretty small.
Merge with a 6-pack. I like
I'm
that.
gonna merge
Oh.
merge.
You're gonna emerge
Anthemic,
packed up.
my anthemic.
Yeah, your 6-pack.
You're gonna emerge from the embers with cum
Anthemic.
gutters on fleek, is what you're saying.
What?
You've never heard that phrase?
Are you familiar with that muscle? You ever heard that phrase?
Cum gutters?
Yeah, like when the what's that muscle called? The oblique or no?
Yeah,
it's like
it's
right.
Yeah,
It's
below.
the Brad Pitt. It's the Brad Pitt Fight Club muscle.
Oh, like the oh God.
You know when a guy has a nice 6-pack.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Between
That's so intense.
Yes, it is.
That's like the most like bro podcast thing that I could be taking away from this. I'm gonna go downstairs and tell my husband, like, have you heard of cum gutters?
and he'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. He'll definitely.
Yeah,
know
he's
what
gonna
I'm
lie.
talking
He will
He's gonna
not.
lie.
He is,
He's
like,
gonna lie and say he
no.
doesn't know, but he knows.
He doesn't know. It's so
about. Whatever
sad.
you gotta tell yourself. Do you think that your husband is a broy guy?
No, not at all. He's like, a reader of Proust.
Well, but he's also outside working with his hands, which can lean broy depending on which way it goes.
Get you a bro who can do both.
He's definitely not a bro, I don't think. I wouldn't consider him a bro. He's a scholar.
But you're not above being a partner with a bro, though, right?
I think I am.
I teed you up, and that's the exact answer that I was looking
Wait, so what were you doing? What were you doing to emerge with this 6-pack? You never told us your secrets.
To emerge with. Oh, okay, so I'm like a pretty small person. Like and so I just felt like if I'm already like pretty small and I work really hard,
How hard could it be to get the 6-pack?
like I'm gonna get one eventually. It's so fucking hard. It's like actually, I think I don't understand. Like you must be like so disciplined.
It's a little bit of
in order
it's
to
a
get
little bit
that.
of food, and then also I think there's some like genetic predisposition as well.
I spent like probably 5 or 6 months like trying to eat. I was trying like all these like I think part of like the pandemic like was trying. I think because like in the book like I deal with my mom's illness like and grief like with Korean food, that it kind of felt like this new type of grief that we were experiencing with the pandemic like had to be dealt with in a different way. And I think for a time like I was trying to like control like my diet and fitness as a way to like feel like a sense of control over the world in a sense. So I was trying all these like funny fad diets because I just like I had so much time and you're not like tempted at all because you're not going out. So like my husband and I tried like keto for a little bit of time. We tried like going vegan for a little bit. And then I was like doing like a ton of like YouTube workouts for a while. And then like 5 months went by and I like the results were just so subtle that I was just like,
Fuck this.
fuck this. Like what the fuck? I was like eating, and it's funny because like I was like eating like I've never eaten like in such a Caucasian way before too. And so like that was also really making me very miserable. I like didn't grow up eating a lot of chicken and definitely never chicken breast. So I was like, eating like a ton.
Oh, so you were like on
of
your
salad.
like chicken breast and like broccoli wave?
I was literally actually trying to do the thing. Like I was like, I'm gonna get cut, and
What are some Caucasian meals though?
like chicken breast,
Just like
That
a plain
that's
chicken
white
breast.
as hell. Yeah.
like chicken breast and like salad and like maybe like broccoli.
Like some steamed white rice. Some
Not even. I wasn't eating rice. There's
Yeah, you
no,
can't
really.
eat
So
rice,
so just
Jason.
steamed veggies.
no carbs.
There's no sauce on the chicken. Maybe a squeeze of lemon.
Yeah, but even
Damn,
like lemon has like 6 grams of carbs in it. It was
No,
like, yeah.
we're not
Michelle-
counting our
Michelle-
lemon
You
carbs.
can't-
I like
eat-
where your head's at.
you can't. I was like not eating fruit for like a whole month. I was like,
Too
I'm
much
gonna
sugar.
fuck-
Too much sugar.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna get cut as hell. And after all of that, not a single up. That's why I was like, it's not worth it. I feel so bad for people who like who feel like pressured to diet because it's like so miserable and hard.
It is really hard.
What if the pressure is self-imposed?
Then that's fine. I mean, if you like, the reason why I did this was because I like have a pretty good relationship. I have like a good relationship with my body and like with food in general. So I didn't feel like worried about myself. But if you don't, then that kind of shit is really dangerous. And I feel like really like I feel for people who put themselves under that kind of pressure.
To be eating good and hating oneself.
Did you have access to equipment, or was this all body weight YouTube stuff, or did you have kettlebells and weights and stuff?
So, okay. So then like my friend was telling me like, you have to get weights.
Yeah.
So for a while I was also trying like dumbbells. I will say like, what's it called? What's that move? Deadlifting.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Like not like deadlifting like the big guy, you know, like the big barbell, but like the movement.
You had dumbbell in each hand.
Yeah, but like that is so scary. Like it just looks like I'm about to like fuck up.
It's
my
a form.
back.
It's a form
Like,
issue.
I can't-
You have to pay very careful.
It's so scary. Like, yeah. But I was trying that for a while because my friend was like, you have to do it with weights. So I was trying that, but still. And then after all of that, I lost a lot of weight when I stopped caring. Because I think that like my body was just like, I had just done it for so long that my appetite just went down. And then I just like naturally lost a bunch of weight once I stopped thinking about it. It was really weird.
The human body.
Never ceases to amaze me. What is your like comfort meal thing that you go to? Like you're stressed out, you're hungover, you have anxiety, or something like that.
Definitely Korean food. Like there's a kimchi stew called kimchi jjigae that I always like make if I'm hungover. Shin ramen, like with an egg in it, and like kimchi is like easy comfort food. There's this like Chinese Korean fusion dish called jjajangmyeon, which is like a black bean noodle that I love. And then I can get down with like a nacho.
Wow. Left from left field.
Like a late night nacho.
Love a late night nacho. What about sandwiches? What's the all-time favorite sandwich?
Good cue. I'd say I love you gotta go BLT with
You gotta.
You gotta go BLT, bro.
Yeah, I like BLTs. Cheesesteak as a Philly girl, like as someone who spent time in Philly, I do love a cheesesteak.
You a whiz girl?
I am a whiz girl.
provolone?
I love both. I hate provolone. I do American and whiz,
What?
which is so gross, but I think provolone is like the most overrated cheese.
Because of the lack of flavor?
It is an odd cheese.
Yeah, it's a white person
Yeah,
cheese.
that's why I gravitate towards it, I think. So thank you for that.
How dare you?
How dare you?
A Caucasian.
I've had the jjajangmyeon, but what is the crispy fried pork with the sweet and sour? What is that one?
Oh,
called?
it's called tangsuyuk.
Yes.
Whoa, how do you know what that is?
I'm a big fan of Korean food.
I guess because LA, you guys like have real
Yeah, we have a great Koreatown, and I have a
Totally.
lot of friends who are Korean growing up. But sometimes you go to a place and the sauce is on the side, and sometimes it's on top. Which one do you prefer?
sauce on the side.
It stays crispy for the whole entire meal.
Yeah.
I don't know why every other. I want to have my orange chicken at Panda like that. I want to have all my Crispies like that. Sometimes I gotta have my Panda.
I don't think I've been to a Panda Express
In a very long time.
since I was like in 6th grade or something at the mall.
Yeah, it feels very mall.
When my mom was like, "This place has rice."
We're going here. It has rice. Do you miss the Pacific Northwest at all, or are you all set on that?
I do. I love the Pacific. I don't think I could ever live there again. I feel like I'm such an East Coast person. I was like meant to be an East Coast person. Like my whole life growing up in the Pacific Northwest, I was always like told to chill out. And then I came here and I was like, I fit right in with everyone else that talks really fast and is stressed out all the time. I miss like Pacific Northwest during the summer, especially. I miss like swimming in fresh water and like, yeah, I mean, it'll always kind of feel like my hometown. Soft Jason. Soft bro Jason.
Soft Jason is at it again.
I would love to swim in
doing
some
his wistful
fresh
size.
water. That sounds very nice right now. You know, even though it's overcast in LA today, that sounds great. A freshwater dip, nothing better.
Yeah, I feel like that's what the Pacific Northwest is all about, is like swimming in rivers and
I've never
lakes.
really been there, to be honest. I've been to Seattle a couple times.
Oh, you gotta
but
go.
I've never been to Portland. Or you're from Eugene, right?
I'm from Eugene, yeah.
I DJ'd in Eugene one time. It was
Where? What?
I don't remember what. It was a small like bar club. It was forever ago. I don't remember where it was at all. But I remember the Oregonians were definitely into like funky dance music. That's for sure.
Huh.
Do you listen to any electronic dance music, Michelle?
Not really.
You like disco?
I do like disco.
Okay.
I think I watched what are they called? God damn it, Barry Gibb.
Oh, the Bee Gees documentary.
The Bee Gees. Yeah, I watched the Bee Gees documentary, and I didn't know that much about the Bee Gees, and I really appreciate the Bee Gees now.
What a voice on that
It's
guy.
pretty
huh?
incredible. The whole story is crazy.
I know. How much did Barry Gibb win the Gene lottery? Huh?
Looking good, sounding good.
First of all, he's the hottest one.
Yeah.
He is like probably the best voice and most talented, and he's the only alive one.
He's like,
All the other Gibbs look like Simpsons characters. They have like
Totally.
weird underbites.
Yeah.
And they're all also they have all perished. And Barry is over here. He looks like a human lion.
For real, he does.
His skin is all tanned up. The voice of a hummingbird.
For
Oh,
real.
man.
Yeah, for real.
Okay. Well, like, do you ever go out to the club to go dancing? Or
Fuck
if-
no. Oh my God.
What's wrong with dancing?
I'm an indoor kid.
All right, you'd rather.
I
be
definitely
playing
like am
Fortnite.
not a dancer.
you didn't go to the club when you were younger?
Are you kidding me? That's like I don't feel like you could ask any artist to go to the club. Like you become an artist because you don't go to the club. I feel like
Look, everybody is between 19 and 22 years old once, and peer pressure is real, you know, so you never know.
I definitely was not going to the club at that age. I was like at a women's college.
Yeah, you guys don't have clubs there.
You guys had knitting club.
No, we had like I was like I was like writing erotica, like
Damn.
feminist erotica at this time.
Wait, can you drop the Deviant Art?
Yeah.
URL,
What's the TV
please?
and art URL? We'll find the live journal.
Yeah, we will find the live journal, Michelle.
Great, I can't wait.
All right. Well, thank you so much for potting with us. We appreciate you taking the time
Yeah,
to
Michelle,
chat.
thank you.
Can't wait to get canceled from this podcast.
Do you think you're gonna get what if you were to get canceled from this podcast? What statement do you think it would be from?
What do you think it would be? For white people food, maybe? Like call
A
it.
lot of the racist stuff you said up top will probably get you in some hot water, but
But you'll cut that out for me.
We'll have to listen back. We'll have to check it out.
if it sticks, it sticks. You know, it's fine.
Great.
No. I don't think you're ever going to get canceled.
Cool.
I think that you are a nice, sweet person, and you are not
Jason.
an evil person
Soft
at
Jason.
all.
Listen to him. Just, I mean,
Thanks, soft Jason.
Yeah, I'm a straight white guy. If I'm not going to get canceled, you're definitely going to be fine.
that's a good point. That's a good point. Michelle, but all joking aside, the book is beautiful. I really enjoyed it, and I hope that more people go buy it after hearing you on our podcast.
Thank you. Hard Chris and soft Jason.
I've already passed it on to 2 women in my life. My girlfriend, her mom's relationship and your mom's relationship is eerily similar, and
wow.
I can't wait for her to give it a read.
I hope she likes it.
Yeah, she might. We'll read it in the sauna, and you can write book number 2 in the hot tub. Tell your husband that we said hi.
Yeah, tell him to put the
Okay,
saw
I
down.
will.
Thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Dig.
The chills that you spill up my back keep me filled with satisfaction when we're done. Satisfaction of what's to come. I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another. Your groove, I do deeply dig. No walls, only the bridge. My supper dish, my crocketesh wish.